Hello my beautiful butterflies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beverley and it's so lovely to see you today. In today's video we are going to be doing a review of Chronically Magickal by Danielle Dione, navigating chronic illness with witchcraft. Grab that cup of tea, let's get to it. Now, as always, before we begin, I do have to give a little disclaimer that this book was not gifted to me. I have no association with Danielle Dione, but they don't know I exist. They wouldn't send me books. I wish people would send me books, but I don't get the book fairies. So this review is all my own thoughts and feelings from reading the book. And if you would like to, if you enjoy my reviews here on the channel, don't forget I do have a Ko-fi and a Patreon, and both places are wonderful ways to help me afford to buy even more books to review for the channel. But let me get my notes that are, as always, on my phone because I'm a professional. So the first thing is, this book is really easy to read. It physically stays open quite easily by itself. It is light to hold. I had no pain, no troubles holding it open at all. Very good binding, etc. That means that this book is really easy for those of us who have arm and hand pain. I will say as well that the text is quite small, so if you have sight issues, maybe get it on audiobook or on Kindle where you can change the text size. But for me personally, and I do usually moan about this when I'm tired, you know, I struggled to read it. This book didn't get that problem, so take that as you will. I really enjoyed the introduction. It's always nice when people who are writing about chronic illness and witchcraft write about their own experiences and their journeys, so it was really nice to read those things here in the book. The first chapter is a really good chapter because it's about how we don't listen to our bodies and what it needs. And quite often when we first become sick, we kind of go, oh yeah, my leg hurts, but I'll be fine standing. Or, you know, like, oh, I've got a really bad headache, but I'll be fine. And we kind of push down those communications that our body is trying to have with us. I think it's quite important to remember that our body's pain and sickness, headaches, that sort of thing, they're all just our body's way of trying to communicate with us. So listen to your body and what it needs. There are some really wonderful exercises in this book as a whole, but especially at the beginning, a lot of mindfulness, meditation. You know, I love those things. I do have a whole blog where I deal with mindfulness and meditation and chronic illness and things, so if you're interested in that, link will be down below. But yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I really got a lot out of it. There were a lot of parts that suggested things that I hadn't thought of and talked about things that I haven't done or I didn't know about. So that's always good to know that a book can give you new information. I've read over the years a lot of chronic illness books, a lot of disability books and a lot of witchcraft books, so to still be finding new things is really nice. There was a wonderful section in here about how our life changes so much when we become sick, and it's so true. You lose friends, you lose job, you can lose your community, you can lose so much. And it's important to bring magic into your everyday. Little things like they suggest making a little simmer pot when you make a cup of tea, because you can use the rest of the water from the kettle and things like that. Like little ways of bringing a little magic, like enchanting a candle for relaxation, like that, read a book, meditate, you know, these little tiny steps, these little things that we can do so easily and quite often can be forgotten in the everyday. And it's important to try and fit as much magic into our day and as much things into our toolkit as possible so that we can be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. I did really enjoy one of the exercises was to enchant a weighted stuffed animal to become a talisman for comfort. and I just loved that. I'm definitely going to save up and get myself a weighted cuddly toy so that I can do that. Things like that are really lovely to think about and really simple. Like, often when we think of talismans, we think of jewellery, but it doesn't have to be that. And it was just a really lovely little reminder that you can enchant all sorts of items to help you in your chronic illness journey. And when you've got disabilities, it doesn't have to stop us from bringing a little magic into our lives. It doesn't have to be a huge big ritual or a big ceremonial thing. It can be something quite small, and that was really lovely. I really enjoyed as well the salves and salts section, which was all about making like salves to help you, salts to put in the bath, that sort of thing. And this is a part of my crafting journey that I'm really starting to step into. This summer I really feel called to make things that I can use in my witchcraft. Like, I'm going to start making some perfumes here on the channel, and the idea of making some lovely bath salts and things like that really inspired me. So look out for future videos, because I'm sure there's going to be more of that coming to the channel too. I did find one downside with this book is a lot of the information is aimed at people who are newly diagnosed, newly sick, and new witches, or people who were witches before and have suddenly become sick. So it's very basic, very low energy witchcraft, which is really good. But a lot of the information I felt like I could skip through because I knew it, or I read it, or I've already been through that experience because I've been ill for so long. So just to bear that in mind, if you're quite far in your chronic illness journey, some of this book might be a bit basic for you, or might feel like, oh, I know that bit, oh, I know that, and you can flick through it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that you can flick through it, though. You'll have to let me know, my darlings, because sometimes it's nice to be able to just flick through or to go back over the basics. I got a lot out of going back over the basics and realising that some of the things that I take for granted as knowing actually were things that I had to really learn through, and they were hard lessons that I learned over time. So it was nice to have that reminder of how far I've come. So I did really enjoy that. There were two wonderful spells in here. One was for finding good medical support, and the other one was for a successful surgery. So it's just the idea of bringing magic into your doctor's appointments, into hospital, into places like that, and things like that. I think it can be quite easy to forget that we are magical all the time, whether we're in hospital or going to see the doctors or whatever. We can craft spells that are going to make it so that we're not gaslit, or we don't have to deal with medical trauma and things like that. It can be a way of just really taking back that control and that autonomy that is quite often missing in that chronic illness and disability life. So that was really lovely to read. There was a lovely section all about healing, self-healing, and they talked about lots of different types of self-healing, like meditation and tapping and Reiki and all that kind of thing. They dealt with lots of different cultures, which was really lovely. It didn't feel like it was appropriating other cultures. It felt more like a respectful little nod, like you can do this and you can do that and you can do this. So it felt really nice. It was nicely handled, and it's nice to hear lots of different ways of healing yourself. That again can make you feel like you're in control or make you feel better, you know. It's really lovely. One downside though, and I bet you can guess what's coming. There are meditations in here and they are not available online. And I mean, come on, it's 2025. I'm sure there can be a way to make it so that only people who have bought the book or are reading the book into the meditations online. Maybe it can be one of those what are those codes called, Lee? It's like a square, like QR codes. Yes, I'm not old at all. It could be a QR code or something that you put in and it takes you to the meditations. I don't know, but figure it out. I'm sure that's not an author thing. I'm sure it's a thing for the producer. This is Llewellyn. Llewellyn, please sort this out. Overall, I just really enjoyed this book. I would recommend it to anybody. It'd be a good present to somebody who is newly sick or recently become disabled. It'd be great for going over things. Maybe you're delving into your past because of shadow work, something like that, and you want to go back over that time. I did find myself going back over stages in my own journey with chronic illness, so that was really illuminating, shall we say. So I think it's a really good book for anyone, witches or newly diagnosed people who were witches before. But I do hope that this author does like a part 2 where it's like goes deeper. So this could be like your beginner, and then they do another one that's like a bit deeper for later on, so they don't have to explain it all. One thing I do dislike about the witchcraft author space is a lot of stuff is for beginners, and I know why they're doing that, but there's a lot of us that are intermediate, there's a lot of us that are like further on the path, and it's hard to find information for further and deeper into your craft when most books are for beginners. So I hope we get a part 2. That would be wonderful. Now join with me, fellows. I know that you're probably thinking it, Beverley, what are we going to be reading next? And this book I'm really excited for. This is The Beginner's Guide to Numerology. Harness the energy of numbers to discover your personal power and manifest your best life, by Kirsten Riddle. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's purple, it's got silver foiling on it. It just looks magical, doesn't it? It's quite a big book, so I'm not sure how I'm going to get on with it, you know, with holding it and stuff. But I am quite excited. Oh yeah, for a measurement, it's slightly longer than my head, so it is quite big. It's a softback book though, so hopefully it's not going to be too heavy. And I will say, my puppy did chew my book, so that's puppies for you. He did get into my books to be read pile, which has now been moved onto a shelf, thankfully, so he cannot chew any more of my books. And don't forget, both of these books will be listed down below, so you can see more information about both of them and the authors, more information down in the description. Let me know if you have read either of these books or you're going to read them along with me. Numerology is next. I love numerology. Elvis was a big follower of numerology, and this is something that's really interested me since I was a kid. So I'm quite excited to delve deeper into it and kind of learn more. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video with me today. I so love doing these book reviews. It's so fun and it's so lovely. But once again, I do buy all these books myself. So links are down below to my Ko-fi and my Patreon. Both are great places if you enjoy my content and you just want to give me a little tip, or you can even follow for free, and you do get access to my Discord server if you just follow for free. So if you want to chat along with me and find some new friends who are into the same things, links down below to those places. Okay, my darlings, I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to head down below and leave it a cheeky like, comment and subscribe. All these things are lovely and magical and free, and they let me know and the YouTubiverse know that you enjoyed the video, and it will share it out just that little bit more. Everyone, please don't forget that you are loved. Take care, have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!